Hi, this is Karen Cubico, and today we're going to talk about how to find the root cause of when you feel like all love equals abuse. So it's kind of a serious subject. It's something that I definitely have seen way too many times during readings and in past life regressions. Abuse might feel like it's okay or expected if it's your pattern or it's a pattern that you've seen other people in where they have been in such abusive situations that they expect people who love them to abuse them. And if that pattern isn't met on some level, then they look for someone to feel that pattern, to feel that need. So it's sort of a bummer when you find that person's in that pattern or you figure out that you yourself might have been in that pattern. But I've helped people through past life regression find the root cause of why they started having that pattern. And it sometimes extends way beyond this current experience into very distant past lives to help you understand and to resolve those patterns on a very deep level. So I have some of those examples in my book, Making True Love. This book is about figuring out how to stop any abusive or other relationship patterns that are of a detriment to you. And ultimately, it's about figuring out how to really love yourself. But this example is taken from chapter 6, Abuse is Not Love. So in this chapter, there's a few examples of some past lives that are in here that others have remembered. One of the examples is about a woman who came to me to try to figure out her own pattern on why she continuously found people who were abusive in her life in all kinds of ways. She remembered a lifetime a long time ago where she was the daughter of someone who dyed yarn for a living, and that was their family business. Now, it wasn't a great big productive business. It was just something they did in their home, and their dad would beat the crap out of the mom and her and another child that was her sibling in that lifetime. She had dyed yarn so much her hands were dyed from the different colors that they would use, and it just never came clean. One day she got tired of it in that past lifetime and ran away. But what really sucked is that she had been beaten so much in that lifetime before she ran away that she died along the side of the road. But she did speak to an angel at the end. And so that was very healing to this woman who came to see me, because that forgiveness, that feeling love from someone in that lifetime, even though it was an angel, helped her feel and understand the love for this current lifetime, to help her move on from that abusive relationship and to equate abuse with love, because sometimes it's misconstrued in some kind of way when you are in a family type of relationship where it's a parent who is abusive to you. Then you expect that abuse to continue, because then when they show you that one iota of love to you, you have to survive through the abuse to get to the love. B.F. Skinner was a psychologist who did experiments with mice to understand what a mouse would do for food. So in his one experiment, he had mice pressing on a lever in order to get food. Now, it was a random reward type of situation where randomly, after pressing this lever, they would get some type of treat of some kind. But what would happen is that every time they pressed the lever, they would get shocked. This poor little mouse was getting shocked repeatedly with the hope that they would get a treat or food or something. Some of these little mice would press that lever almost until they were near death in order to get that one treat or piece of food. It's just super sad. But it's really no different than if someone is in an abusive relationship and they are getting beaten again and again and again, physically, emotionally, sexually, any kind of way. And then that person who's the abuser gives them flowers or says kind words to them or apologizes and say they'll never do that again, that type of thing. And it's almost like you forget all that abuse. No different than that mouse forgetting all the shocks because now they're all excited. They got that reward. So the reward becomes that little smidgen or that little treat of love from that abusive person, and it doesn't stick because then a week later they're abusing that person again, and it's just an ongoing cycle where they are loving them and abusing them, and for the most part, just abusing them. And remember to hit that like button and subscribe. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Another woman came to me to remember a past life to see if she could remember a root cause on why she was constantly in an abusive relationship. And so when she went back into a past life, she remembered being in a place over in Europe where it was not sure what time period, but it feels like Middle Ages. In that lifetime, she was born to a couple. Her father died when she was very young. Her mother died when she was in her teens, and she was left the house. Her neighbor lady took care of her here and there and looked after her and really actually loved her, gave her dresses and whatnot. But eventually she met up with her husband in that past lifetime. Her husband owned a tavern down the road, several hours walk, and when they got together, her husband would abuse her. She would dutifully wait on him, make him special food, walk him dinner every day so he'd have it fresh. And if he would get any kind of trade from selling things at the tavern, he would, like if he got cheese or something like that, food or whatever that would be as a trade, he would like eat all of it himself and give her the scraps. So she was used to getting like kind of the raw end of the deal. In fact, in that past lifetime, she and her husband had a donkey and he would ride it the 2-hour walk to work every day, and she'd still have to walk on her own to take him dinner. So it was not a fair situation going on. At the end of that lifetime, she remembered that her husband in that past life had lost the tavern because of money issues and came home and took out his anger on her, beat her so badly that she died, and he pushed her into the ocean so her body would float away. She was able to, at that moment though, talk to her spirit guide. And her spirit guide said to her, why you're sitting here in spirit, watching your body float away in the ocean, is helping you to love yourself, to love your body, to love who you are on some deeper soul level. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go through abuse ever. Please get help. Find a woman's shelter or a shelter that helps people work through abusive situations in your hometown. They're all over the place. Find help. But if you feel like you can get out of that relationship in a safe way, please do. But you don't have to die to figure it out that you love yourself. That is not the case. So please find help. Really, please find help. And stay to the end. I have a special guided meditation taken directly from this book on how to find in a past life a root cause to heal any relationship patterns. Take the time to listen to that today. Lots of love and light to you.